Hello everyone. Today I'm going to deploy a WooCommerce store and then I'll make it into a cluster. We're also going to deploy a managed MySQL database, and we'll also create a media space that all members of the cluster can share. And I'm going to show you how autoscaling works live. So let's begin. So I have Codex opened and I'm going to tell it to deploy the project from this folder. I already switched to that folder. So it will first create a plan. As I'm not going to be using YOLO mode, I'll be using the guided mode this time. So we can see the plan, and if we agree with the deployment and the resources it will provision, we can just say go and it will continue. So let's give it some time to create a plan. So as it detected that this is a WooCommerce store, it checked for a shared media space, and since it did not find one, it will create one as a small instance. It will also create one small instance for the managed DB and one medium instance with higher memory, because this is a memory heavy app, but you can also not go with that and just go with the regular medium. So here we can see that we need to say go if we agree, and I agree here, so I'll just say go and let it deploy everything. So let's give it some time. We can see that everything is ready now, and it just needs my approval to upgrade the app layer, the app VM, into a cluster, because that will be a build resource, and so it just won't do it automatically. But you can also go to YOLO mode if you don't want to do this. I'll say just go cluster and we'll wait a bit. So we can see that the cluster creation is completed and we have a live URL, but we'll just let Codex verify the URL and fix any potential problems. Let's give it a bit more time. Now we can see the files that Codex generated, so it knows what it deployed, and we can see what's verified, what is running, and what it locally updated. So let's now overload all the cores at the same time, so we can see if it creates a new member, and we can see that the auto-scaling actually works. So I have the console opened in a browser, and I can see that the new member is actually being built, and the Codex will soon see it itself. It's polling now again. As you can see, the website is working on the cluster URL, and you can see Redu demo store base version 2, that it is our first member, and the other one is being built. Codex now sees that the new auto-scaled member has started, and it's polling to see when it becomes active, so we'll wait for a bit more. And while we're waiting, I'll just take the load down by half, because I don't want third member to be created. And by the way, you can tell Codex or whatever agent what maximum number of members the cluster can have, so it doesn't grow above that. And as we can see, the second member is now active. So let's see in clusters details, we have one extra member, and we can see the private IP of that member. We can also copy the URL of the cluster, and this is where we access our store, and it will go by policy and select one of the two members. So let's now do a test to see if it actually cycles through members or it just hits the first one, and we'll wait a bit. Okay, so it sent 20 numbered requests, and it sees that all are returned at 200 and only 13 were to the hero VM, so that means the other 7 were to the other. I'm also dropping the load to 0, so I can show you the scale in. It should delete one of the members, so only one remains if the average load goes below 20% by default, and you can also change this or tell it when creating a cluster. So let's give it some time. The auto-scaled member has been deleted, and the baseline app VM, media VM, and DB VM are remaining. So let's just go to the console, and you can see there is only the first member, and the second one has been successfully removed. That's it for today, and I'll see you in the next video.